Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're really going to roll up our sleeves and dive deep into a book that promises to, well, transform how we use LinkedIn.
Yeah.
It's LinkedIn for Dummies, second edition.
Oh,
And I know what you're thinking, dummies, seriously. But trust me on this one.
yeah.
This isn't about, posting selfies with inspirational quotes. We're talking next level strategies here.
Okay.
Whether you're on the hunt for a new job, need to connect with some kind of specific expert, or even want to, take your business to the next level.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
You see, most people treat LinkedIn like a digital resume or a place to mindlessly scroll through their feed. But this book pulls back the curtain and shows you how to unlock its true potential.
Okay, so spill the tea. What are some of those hidden gems that really jumped out at you?
One thing that really resonated with me was the emphasis on something the book calls degrees of connection.
Degrees of connection.
Yeah, it's not just about who you're directly connected with on LinkedIn, but who they're connected with.
Okay.
It's about understanding your extended network and how those connections can open doors you never even knew existed.
So it's like your coworker's roommate's uncle might just be the CEO of that company you've been dying to work for.
Exactly.
Okay.
Let's say you're looking for a new job, right? The book actually recommends using LinkedIn to research the hiring manager before an interview. Imagine walking into that interview already knowing their background, their career path, maybe even some shared interests. You instantly set yourself apart from the other candidates who just skimmed the company website.
Okay. That's a power move right there.
Right.
No more showing up to interviews clueless. I actually used to be terrified of interviews until I realized something. The hiring manager is probably just as nervous as you are.
That's true. But this whole idea of research and strategic connections, it's not just for job seekers. Imagine you're a business owner looking for a very specific type of client, maybe a graphic designer who specializes in sustainable branding. LinkedIn lets you search for exactly that, narrowing down by location, industry, even keywords.
Wait, for real, I had no idea you could get that specific. I've been wasting so much time on Google when I could have been working smarter on LinkedIn.
And here's the thing. The book breaks down how to do these searches effectively.
Right.
It's not just typing in a job title and hoping for the best. We're talking advanced search filters,
Yeah.
using Boolean operators like and or, even leveraging the power of quotation marks. It's about finding the exact people you need to connect with, no matter how niche your search.
This is blowing my mind. So we've got strategic connections, targeted searches. What else does this LinkedIn for Dummies magic unlock?
Well, the book also dives deep into a feature that most people completely overlook, the answers section. Have you ever used that before?
Honestly, I've scrolled past it countless times. Is it actually useful?
Well, it's a gold mine. Think of it like a forum where LinkedIn users can ask and answer industry-specific questions.
Yeah.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. By actively participating in answers, you not only position yourself as an expert in your field, but you also open the door to valuable connections and even potential clients.
Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down. So instead of just passively consuming content on LinkedIn, we should be actively engaging, sharing our knowledge, and contributing to the conversation. I never thought of it that way before.
That's the beauty of this book. It encourages you to think differently about LinkedIn. For example, it talks about a website called Mahalo. They use the answers section to conduct market research, engaging directly with their target audience and gaining invaluable insights. And you know what? It worked.
Wow, so Answers is like the secret weapon hiding in plain sight. What other hidden features have I been missing out on?
Well, you ready for this?
Yeah.
The book even talks about using LinkedIn for in-person events.
Wait, hold up. In person, like leaving the house, putting on real pants,
Yeah.
in person. I thought we were trying to escape the real world here.
Right, but hear me out, because this is actually pretty cool. The book shares a story about a guy named Chuck Hester in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Okay.
He started organizing these LinkedIn Live events, which are basically meetups for people in his local area who were connected on LinkedIn. And get this.
Yeah.
It became a massive success.
Okay, you've officially piqued my curiosity.
Yeah?
Tell me more about these LinkedIn Live events.
Yeah.
Are they just networking happy hours, or is there more to it?
Well, they can definitely be a great way to connect with other professionals in a more relaxed setting. But it goes beyond that. Imagine going to an event where Everyone there is already somewhat familiar with each other because of their LinkedIn profiles.
That takes the pressure off those awkward "so what do you do"
Uh,
conversations.
Exactly. And it's not just about small talk and swapping business cards. These events can feature guest speakers, workshops, panel discussions. It's like taking all the best parts of LinkedIn and bringing them to life offline.
Okay, I have to admit I was a little skeptical at first,
Yeah.
but the more we talk about these in-person events, the more I'm starting to come around.
Yeah.
It's like LinkedIn becomes this gateway to a whole new world of connections and possibilities.
Precisely. And that's just one example of how LinkedIn for Dummies
Yeah.
encourages you to think outside the box.
Okay.
It's not just about updating your profile and hoping for the best. It's about being strategic, proactive, and using the platform to your advantage.
So we've talked about strategic connections, powerful search functions, the hidden gem that is the answers section, and even venturing into the real world with LinkedIn live events. Is there anything else this book covers that might surprise our listeners?
Oh, there's so much more. The book also goes into detail about crafting a killer LinkedIn profile.
Okay.
I'm not just talking about copying and pasting your resume.
Right.
We're talking about using keywords strategically, writing a headline that grabs attention,
Yeah.
and showcasing your accomplishments in a way that makes you stand out from the crowd.
That's something I've always struggled with writing about myself in a way that doesn't sound either completely boring or totally arrogant.
Well, you're in luck. The book actually provides a really helpful framework for writing your LinkedIn summary. It's called the Who, What, Goals format.
Okay, I love a good framework. Break it down for us.
Basically, it's about structuring your summary to answer three key questions. Who are you? What do you do? And what are your professional goals?
It sounds so simple when you put it like that.
Yeah.
But I can see how having that structure would make a huge difference. I know when I'm, scrolling through LinkedIn,
Yeah.
I'm much more likely to pause on a profile that's clear, concise,
Right.
and tells me exactly who that person is and what they're all about.
You've hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
It's all about grabbing attention and making a memorable impression in those crucial few seconds.
Right.
And speaking of making an impression, the book also delves into the power of recommendations.
Oh yeah, recommendations.
Mhm.
Those always seemed important, but I'll be honest, I haven't really put much thought into them beyond maybe accepting a request here and there.
Okay.
How does LinkedIn for Dummies suggest we use them strategically?
It emphasizes both giving and receiving recommendations thoughtfully.
Okay.
Think of it as social proof.
Okay.
When someone endorses your skills and experience, it adds a layer of credibility that you just can't achieve on your own.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So instead of just sending out generic requests, I should be more intentional about who I ask and what I ask for, like maybe focusing on a specific project or skill set.
Exactly.
Okay.
And when you're writing a recommendation for someone else,
Yeah.
make it specific and genuine.
Oh.
Don't just say, they're a great worker.
Right.
Instead, share an anecdote or highlight a particular accomplishment that demonstrates their abilities.
Okay, I'm starting to see how all of these pieces fit together.
Yeah.
It's about building a strong profile, showcasing your expertise, and then backing it up with genuine endorsements from your network.
Right.
It's like creating this powerful online presence that goes beyond just listing your work history.
You got it. And speaking of networks, the book also talks about the often underutilized power of LinkedIn groups.
Okay.
Have you ever joined any?
I've dabbled, but to be honest, I haven't found them all that engaging. They always seem to be full of spammy posts and self-promotion.
I hear you. There are definitely some duds out there.
Yeah.
But if you can find the right groups, ones that are specific to your industry or interests,
Right.
they can be incredible resources for networking and knowledge sharing.
So it's about finding your niche within the larger LinkedIn universe.
Exactly. Think of them as virtual water coolers.
Okay.
Places where you can connect with like-minded professionals, share insights, ask questions, and even collaborate on projects.
Okay. I'm willing to give groups another try, especially if it means I can finally find some people who actually get what I do.
Right.
But sometimes even with all the best tools and strategies, LinkedIn can feel a bit overwhelming.
I completely understand.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in the comparison game or feel pressure to be on all the time.
Right.
But here's the thing the book emphasizes. LinkedIn doesn't have to be another source of stress in your life.
Right.
It's about working smarter, not harder.
Okay, I love the sound of that. So how do we achieve that elusive work smarter, not harder LinkedIn experience?
Well, the book actually gives this great example of a tool called the Exobni email plugin.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of it?
I can't say that I have, but I am intrigued. An email plugin that enhances your LinkedIn experience.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
It's pretty genius, actually.
Okay.
Exobni essentially integrates your LinkedIn connections into your inbox.
Okay.
So you can see their profile information, recent activity, even mutual connections,
Huh.
all without ever leaving your email.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
That would save me so much time and effort. I can't tell you how many times I've had to scramble to look someone up on LinkedIn while I'm in the middle of emailing them.
Right. It's a game changer. And that's just one example of how you can use technology to streamline your LinkedIn efforts and make the platform work for you.
Okay.
The book actually dedicates an entire chapter to integrating LinkedIn with other tools and platforms
Right.
like your CRM or your social media accounts.
Okay. I am so here for any tips or tricks that can help me maximize my time and energy.
Right.
It's easy to feel like you need to be constantly on LinkedIn.
Yeah,
But the reality is we all have busy lives and limited bandwidth.
absolutely. And that's why it's so important to define your goals for using LinkedIn in the first place.
Right.
The book encourages readers to ask themselves, what do you hope to achieve by using this platform?
Okay.
Are you actively job hunting? Looking to grow your professional network? Trying to build your personal brand as an expert in your field?
Those are great questions.
Yeah.
I think a lot of us just sort of drift through LinkedIn without really stopping to think about what we're trying to get out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And without clear goals, it's easy to get sidetracked, overwhelmed, or even discouraged.
Right.
But when you know what you want to achieve, you can use LinkedIn strategically to make it happen.
It's like that saying, if you don't know where you're going, any road will get you there.
Right.
Except with LinkedIn, there are so many roads, or should I say news feeds, that it's easy to get lost along the way.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And one of the things this book does so well is remind us that LinkedIn is constantly evolving.
Right.
New features are added, algorithms change,
Yeah.
and what worked yesterday might not work tomorrow.
Yeah. So how do we stay ahead of the curve? Do we need to become LinkedIn experts just to keep up?
Not at all.
Okay.
It's more about adopting a mindset of continuous learning and experimentation.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to try new things, see what works for you, and adjust your strategy accordingly.
Right.
The book actually encourages readers to think of LinkedIn as a living, breathing network,
Okay.
not just a static platform.
So it's less about memorizing a set of rules and more about staying adaptable and open to new possibilities.
Exactly. And that's where the real magic happens.
Okay.
When you start to see LinkedIn not just as a tool for job hunting or self-promotion, but as a platform for building meaningful connections, sharing your expertise, and even discovering unexpected opportunities.
You know, we've covered so much ground today. Everything from crafting a compelling profile to leveraging the power of our extended networks
Right.
to even venturing into the real world with LinkedIn Live events.
It's true.
It's amazing to think about all the potential that exists within this platform that most of us probably never even tap into.
It's true. And that's why I think this book is so valuable.
Yeah.
It takes something familiar, something we might even take for granted,
Right.
and reveals its hidden depth.
It's like we've been using LinkedIn on autopilot this whole time, and now LinkedIn for Dummies has given us the keys to unlock its full potential.
Exactly. So, to our listeners out there, I encourage you, don't just exist on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Truly live on it.
Okay.
Engage with others, share your insights, ask questions,
Right.
and see what unfolds. You might be surprised by what and who you discover.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
So there you have it, a deep dive into the world of LinkedIn, guided by the wisdom of LinkedIn for Dummies, 2nd edition.
Absolutely.
We hope you've walked away with some actionable insights, a renewed sense of purpose, and maybe even a little excitement about the possibilities that await you on this ever-evolving platform.
That's true.
Until next time, happy networking.